2024 has kicked off today, guys. Yes, today is the first day of Cannes, and it's dropped some Megalopolis teaser trailer footage that we'll take a look at, as well as David Cronenberg's new film, Crowds film. And there's a Selena Gomez movie that's premiering there. Cool, man. Lord of the Rings anime feature. It's coming out this year, right? The War of Rohirrim, I think. We'll talk about that. Julia Roberts in the headlines. Edgar Wright directing. Sydney Sweeney in Barbarella. Cool, man. We got actually a bunch of headlines to get through today. We're on a little bit earlier today because, well, I got to go to work later on today. So let's get through the show anyway, because I love talking about movie news and upcoming movie news for the year of 2024. Let's start off today's show by talking about Cannes, starting today. The buzziest films and packages Cannes has to offer. The Apprentice. That DT movie with Sebastian Stan. He doesn't look like him at all. I don't see the resemblance. Pamela Anderson's movie, The Last Showgirl, and Selena Gomez's movie, Emilia Perez. I don't know anything about that, but we'll take a look into that in just a minute. But Variety has a big list here of movies kicking it off, so let's just take a look and see if we recognize any of the big titles. The official selections are Megalopolis, the Francis Ford Coppola movie. Yes, we know that. And we'll take a look at the new teaser that dropped this morning in just a few minutes. I haven't watched it yet, so we'll have a first-time reaction. Adam Driver and Natalie Emmanuel, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf, big cast, Dustin Hoffman, Giancarlo Esposito. This is the big movie that he, financed himself because no studio wanted to make it for him. So we'll get into that later on. Bird, starring Barry Keoghan, and that's about it. We like Barry here on this channel. Why buyers care. Arnold's return to Croisette is easily one of the hottest tickets of the festival. So I don't know anything about Andrea Arnold. Let's just pull up her resume. She made Cow. But I guess she's known in the biz. I guess I'm too casual of a movie fan to understand who she is. She's from the UK. American Honey Fish Tank. Movies I've never heard of. All right. Did you not hear about Fish Tank, James? Wuthering Heights? Okay. No. I didn't hear about her at all. So, next. The Apprentice, yes, the Sebastian Stan, Jeremy Strong, Maria Bakalova movie about that guy in the States that's running for president, DT. Yes. Sebastian Stan playing him. I don't know what Sebastian Stan's doing. I guess, you got to take the work as it comes. He doesn't look like him at all. So it's kind of like, this is like before The Apprentice, right? I think it's supposed to take place in the 80s. I don't know. Maria Bakalova's Ivanka, or Ivana, right? Take her money. Let's not discount the... it doesn't even say what it's about. Oh, Canada! Richard Gere, Uma Thurman, Jacob Elordi. What the heck is this? Never even heard of it. Okay. Oh, Canada. Richard Gere. I don't even know how we would look that up, because if I look up Oh Canada, it'll give me like the anthem. So let's go to Richard Gere's IMDb. Take a look at this. No, I don't need his picture. I don't need his mug in my face. Next. Move on. Quickly. Oh Canada. Here we go. Leonard Fire. What's this movie about? Leonard Fife, one of 60,000 draft evaders and deserters who fled to Canada to avoid serving in Vietnam, shares all of his secrets to demythologize his mythologized life. Shares all his secrets to mythologize his mythologized. For God's sakes! So he's a draft dodger. So is DT. Whatever. Maybe he couldn't afford a doctor to write him a letter for bone spurs. But I like the cast. Richard Gere, Uma Thurman, Jacob Elordi. They were in town actually filming a movie with Richard Gere. Is this that movie? I mean, in town here, Kitchener Waterloo, where I live. And they had the street blocked off, and people were trying to look at Richard Gere, look at Richard Gere. And I was like, I could go over there and fight through the crowd, but it's like, it's not as if he's going to acknowledge us or anything. Whatever. That's the way I feel about it. Now, maybe if Uma Thurman was there, I would have been a little bit more intrigued. Whatever. Oh, Canada. Um, Fascinating. Okay, so Emilia Perez. This is that movie that Selena Gomez is looking to be starring in, from Jacques Audiard. It's a household name in France. It won the Palme d'Or in 2015. All right, so Zoe Saldana is also in that. Let's pull that up. So Emilia Perez, Mexico Today lawyer Rita receives an unexpected offer. She has to help a feared cartel boss retire from his business and disappear forever by becoming the woman he always dreamed of being. What? Okay. What? Hold on here. She has to help a feared cartel boss retire from his business. Okay, so there's going to be like a gender swap thing going on in here. Fine. I thought it was like, I didn't know if I misread that. So, Carla Sofia is going to be playing the mob boss. So who's Selena playing then? This is the only image that we have from this. And why can't you just give me the names, guys? I'm guessing Edgar Ramirez is going to be playing another boss that'll maybe try to take over operations. So who's the lawyer then? I'm guessing it's Zoe Saldana. I don't know who, because you see she looks, and it's just the retired mob boss. Although she's dancing here, well, she is a dancer in real life. I don't know what would a lawyer be doing that, or is Selena playing the lawyer? Because they both could. Curious. What do you guys think about this? Emilia Perez, expected August 28th. Seems a little art housey, but I'll see it if it comes to the theaters here. Because I'm a Selena Gomez fan, that's why. Next, The Surfer, Nicolas Cage, Julianne McMahon, WME. What the heck? Okay. And this latest thriller sees him as a dad looking for revenge against a local pack of thugs who lay claim to a secluded beach where he played as a child. So, Nicolas Cage, surfer movie. Okay. To live, to die, to live again. Isn't that the mantra from Fury Road? I live, I die, I live again. Goodfellas, more based on the '90s set drama than his own anxieties. Huh. Last Showgirl, the Pamela Anderson movie. Jamie Lee Curtis, Kiernan Shipka is in that, and Dave Bautista, Brenda Song, Billy Lord. That's Carrie Fisher's daughter, right? But I'm interested from Kiernan Shipka and, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know about Pamela Anderson. And I'll tell you why, because she's never been known as a great actress. She's going to be in the new Naked Gun movie, and she's going to be in this Last Showgirl that I hear has got some interesting buzz. So maybe this will put those concerns I have of her acting abilities at ease. Let me see if we can pull up the IMDb for this. I do like Kiernan Shipka. What was it? Totally Killer last year, right? A seasoned showgirl must plan for her future when her show abruptly closes after a 30-year run. So it almost seems like, Showgirls Part 2 kind of thing. What happens at the end of somebody's career cycle? I like the premise. I don't know anything about Gia Coppola. Any relation to the other Coppolas? Of course, that one doesn't say here. What's her relation? Like Sofia Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola? No? She is a member of the Coppola family. Okay. You know, well, talking about Nicolas Cage, he's part of that family too, because he's Nicholas Coppola, right? Interesting. Well, that adds a little bit more to my excitement for the new Pamela Anderson movie. Belly of the Beast, Colin Farrell, Ben Stiller. The film follows the true story of a friendship between notorious literary titan Norman Mailer and his protege, Jack Abbott. A pairing which ends in tragedy. Well, I like Colin Farrell. Stiller's a little bit hit or miss. Sydney Sweeney, untitled Christy Martin biopic. Oh yeah, that's that boxing movie that we talked about last week. Out Late, Ron Perlman, Rupert Everett. Everett is an out gay dancer who befriends Perlman, inspires courage as his latter family tries to force him back into the closet. Oh yeah, I heard that Perlman was taking on a project like that. That's kind of curious. James, don't use that kind of terminology. I mean, that's an interesting concept. And to see Ron Perlman take on a project like that, yeah, that might be interesting to see. Power Ballad, Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas. As soon as you say Jonas, I'm out. I'm out. Honorable mentions. All right. A little bit of a long, boring list. Sorry, guys, to bore you with that. But what do you think about that new Selena Gomez, Emily Perez movie? And I'm oddly curious about that Gia Coppola movie that's coming out, The Last Showgirl, because, well, it's got Pamela Anderson and the rest of the cast. Seems on point. Jamie Lee Curtis. I love what Dave Bautista's been doing. Billy Lord, Brenda Strong. Fascinating. Gosh. So, Con, looking pretty good this year. What are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to the Megalopolis movie? Let's talk about that. Let me get set up for a trailer reaction video. As you can see, guys, we are not doing ads today because we're going to be watching a few trailers, perhaps. That might get us a little slap on the wrists, but whatever. Ready? I'm ready. Megalopolis has dropped its new trailer, guys. It's a first official trailer. Let's check it out. From Francis Ford Coppola, Adam Driver, about an architect.
Does an empire die? Does it collapse in one terrible moment?
Yeah, tragedy.
No. But there comes a time when its people no longer believe.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Don't let the now.
Ooh. Well, that's interesting.
Destroy the forever.
And he's got powers, right? Because the teaser showed us that he can stop time. Very nouveau, right?
Is this society?
Postmodernistic.
Is this way we're living? The only one that's available to us.
There's Shia LaBeouf. You see him? Create. He's an architect. And he wants to rebuild the city.
We are taking our city back.
And when we ask these questions, when there's a dialogue about them,
Looks epic.
that basically is a utopia.
From Francis Ford Coppola, Megalopolis. The movie that they say is unmarketable, but it seems to be. I thought that was fairly effective. What do you guys think about that? Let's see if I can go back to that shot of Shia LaBeouf. So it looks like they're looking at some kind of concert or performance here, and I think that's why Shia LaBeouf's part of that. That's why he's dressed up like that. It looks like there's some romance in here as well. There's Dustin Hoffman. That's cool. Yeah.
And children of all ages. Welcome.
Yeah, there's Shia. right there. He must, either he's like, you know how people go to shows and they get like dressed up like the performers and stuff, like almost like cosplay. It looks like maybe he's like that a little bit. Very interesting stuff. Like there seems to be some technology going on there, holographic technology, right? Like it looks grand in scope. So is that Shia there too? I don't know who that is. Huh. Yeah. Interesting. I like the aesthetic. I do. Like this arena. Awesome. I like the portrayal of the city blowing up or getting hit by meteorites, it looks like. I don't know who this actress is. Wait a minute. And there's Giancarlo Esposito. Was that Hunter Schafer? Is that who that was? Yeah, who's this guy? Who's this? Let's go over to the IMDb. And then we'll take a look at the comments here. An architect wants to rebuild New York City as a utopia following a devastating disaster. I'm digging this, man. I'm digging this. Okay, Natalie Emmanuel, Adam Driver, Aubrey Plaza. Did we see Aubrey Plaza? She's one of my favorites. James Remar, Dustin Hoffman, John Voight. We heard, it was Fishburne narrating in the beginning, right? Jason Schwartzman. Oh, no, okay, so that must be Chloe Fineman that we've seen. So then who is that? Who is this? I don't recognize them, but they seem to be kind of a boss. And why do they have kids? Weird. I don't know who that is. It's not D.B. Sweeney. Must be nobody that's on this list, but it is an interesting look, man. Jason Schwartzman's in this. I'm digging it. Yeah, there's James Remar right there. Did we see him in the trailer? He looks like somebody who works with Driver to help with his architectural stuff. And I don't know what's going on with this big statue either, man. So, like, we've seen that either he's hallucinating these things or he does have special powers to animate things and stop time and stuff. Because we've seen in the first teaser when he's looking out over the city and he says stop and like the traffic all stops kind of thing. So I don't know if he's doing that because maybe he's just envisioning pieces in his head, like architectural wise kind of thing. Like, but okay, we now know the tragedy that's going to happen. Meteorites hit, and that's probably the opening of the movie. Let's go down and take a look at some of the comments. Looks to be his most ambitious film since Apocalypse Now. Definitely going to support it at the cinema. Really? You're just going to jump over all of The Godfather? Godfather was hugely ambitious. If you want, I know that Apocalypse Now was ambitious too. Like he really put his health on the line to make that movie. But when you watch the behind the scenes stuff of Godfather, and he's got like these big Bibles of stuff that he's researched and put into all of it, I would probably say that's got to contend as well. But anyway, yeah, it's a valid opinion. Don't care about the greedy studio heads say this looks amazing, can't wait for it. Yeah, the marketing, the studios all turned their backs on this. They said, no, this movie's not going to work. We don't want to have any part of it because people just don't want to go out and see this. And it's like, you look at these visuals and it's like, who doesn't want to see this? I know it's going to be a little bit weird. We know that it's going to be a little bit artsy-fartsy. We know that maybe, perhaps, it's going to be a little bit too artsy-fartsy. Oh, is that James Remar right there? For some people, a little too art house. But that's fine. I think it's going to be awesome. Yeah, the cast shines for me. Megalopolis. What else are people saying? This looks like a visual wonder. If we don't support film, Mr. Coppola will have sold his vineyard in vain. I'm beyond excited. Yeah, so a lot of people are coming out to support this, and that's good. That's what we need to do when movies like Fall Guy come out and they're awesome, and people are just like, meh, meh, meh. They'll go out to see it, and it's like, well, that's why we don't get like original movies anymore. That's why we get things like Captain Marvel 6 and stuff like that, and Ant-Man 4, and it's like, yeah, because we got to go out and support these movies, man. Definitely something we'll remember for decades to come. Thank you, Mr. Coppola. Adam Driver and Shia LaBeouf characters seem to be the protagonist and antagonist. If that's the case, we're about to witness fireworks between the two great actors. Well, I think they're also confusing that henchman guy behind the desk as Shia, but it's not. Like this guy. This is not Shia. I don't know who that is. That's obviously the love interest, right? I don't know who this is with the mark. That's not Shia, right? Because Shia seems to be involved with the play or whatever that's going on in there. Oh, there's some blood. Wow. Yeah, there's Shia. He doesn't have the mark on him. He seems like he's part of the society, of the upper echelons of society that's kind of like carefree and does whatever they want kind of thing, right? The cloud grabbing the moon is so trippy. 40 years in the making, that's dedication. Thank you for persevering. The art of cinema. So people are digging it, man. People are digging it. What did you guys think about the trailer for Megalopolis? Did it get you excited? Did it make you go, I want to check this out? From Francis Ford Coppola. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains. Yeah, so I dug that. That was refreshing. Let's take off all of the graphics, James, and get back into some movie news headlines. Yeah, I don't expect anybody in the chat today because I'm on much earlier than normal. And I gotta work late tonight too, until like 9 p.m. Hi-ya! I usually don't, but you know, every once in a while you gotta take a hit for the team. So, what else is going on? New David Cronenberg movie was at Cannes, right? I think, right? Vincent Cassel and Diane Kruger contemplate seduction and death in David Cronenberg's The Shrouds teaser trailer. So, I am a fan of David Cronenberg, obviously. What's this about? Karsh, an innovative businessman and grieving widower, builds a device to connect with the dead inside a burial shroud. Wow. Leave it to Cronenberg to come up with some weird ideas, man. I know that a lot of people did not like Crimes of the Future. Eating plastic and changing your body parts out to become more like a robot kind of thing. It's like, what the heck's going on with that? It was yes, it was a weird film. I liked it. I've never revisited it, but I appreciate Cronenberg a lot because he's a little bit abstract. He thinks way outside the box. And let's take a look at this new teaser for The Shrouds. Vincent Cassel's good talent. Hey,
It's been a decade since I had to seduce a woman.
You'll never replace Becca.
I'm not trying to. What happened?
It's like a tracking device. It's obvious they were tracking you through her.
Like, look at the frames.
Why would they do that?
That's not meant for the living.
There's not going to be nudity in this, is there? Okay, no.
Maybe not meant for the dead either.
Okay, The Shrouds. So it is a little bit like Eggs Extends, right? He plugs himself into this thing that allows him to go. It's like a mixture of things of all of his movies. Is that Megan right there? Yeah, so he's going into this thing to commune with the dead. Very interesting. And what stands out to me right off the bat is, like, look at the framing. Look at like how we know that Cronenberg can film things. He's got a very unique eye. Let's see what people are saying about this. Vincent Cassel as David Cronenberg. Cronenberg doing more horror makes the horror snob in me so happy. I really miss the weird he'd do. Yeah. As Extends. That's weird. And Crimes of the Future. What do you mean miss? That was like his weirdest film. I like his more contemporary stuff as well, like History of Violence, Eastern Promises. My God, this looks good. Yeah. Yeah. That looks too similar to the one I'm writing. Don't worry, I won't sue. Well, hey, when you deal with aspects of the dead and people grieving and not being able to let go, um, yeah, like that's the backbone of it, right? Very interesting. So why are these monuments toppled? Is it because these were failed experiments? It's very curious, very interesting, very disturbing, right? New Cronenberg film. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below and we will talk about it. Let's move on and talk about the Lord of the Rings anime feature, The War of the Rohirrim. Lord of the Rings anime feature, DC's Creature Commando, set for Warner Bros. Presentation at Annecy. This year's Annecy International Animation Film Festival takes place on June 9th in France. Okay, so we know that the War of the Rohirrim was coming out like almost 2 years ago. I reported on this, right? It's like years and years before Lord of the Rings, guys. It's just about the War of the Rohirrim, right? So it's going to be animated. First look at the War of the Rohirrim from director Kenji Kamiyama. Sorry, my bad. It's set for at least December 13th this year, so that's noteworthy. So they get a first look around June, which means we should probably get our first look as general audiences probably around the same time. The animation process is currently underway for the Lord of the War of the Rohirrim, which centers on the fortress Helm's Deep and its founder, Helm Hammerhead, the King of Rohan. Yeah, so we know Helm's Deep because of the battle at the end of the Two Towers, right? So this will be like one of the first wars, or maybe like why it was built in the first place. So that's fascinating. And then of course we got Creature Commandos. I think this will be the first entry in James Gunn's rebooted DCU. Stop that. Why did you do that? I didn't say scroll up. Creature Commandos. And yeah, from James Gunn and Peter Safran. And I just remember the quote from James Gunn saying that this is going to be helping to establish that his rebooted DC universe is going to have monsters. It's going to have the fantastical stuff in it. And we know it's going to because of that Superman picture that was released, that there's some weird stuff going on in the background. So this will help set the table for all of that. And yeah, interesting stuff. Anything else of noteworthy coming out at this Annecy Festival? The Amazing World of Gumball. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. I don't know about that. But the War of the Rohirrim, that's the main headline, June 9th. That's just like a month away, under a month away now. Huh. Wow, this year's going by pretty fast. This month is going by fast. We're already near the middle. Wow. Lord of the Rings. Those headlines always grab people, right? Let's talk about Julia Roberts. Andrew Garfield to join Julia Roberts in Luca Guadagnino thriller After the Hunt. Now, Luca Guadagnino just did Challengers, which drove Charlie XCX to hit the sauce. Yeah, we did a story on that yesterday. But if you are a Luca Guadagnino fan, then this might excite you. And if you are a Julia Roberts or Andrew Garfield fan, this is for you. So After the Hunt is aiming to launch production this summer. Do you have a log line for me here? After the Hunt focuses in on a college professor who is forced to confront her own dark past when a Providence student makes an accusation against one of her colleagues. Okay. It is always, like, Luca Guadagnino always does salacious material, doesn't he? Like, Challengers was sort of supposed to be about a throuple, but really wasn't. It was more about just the thrill of competition in tennis, and then there was the eating people, Bones and All movie. He likes to take on really interesting subject matter and comes at it from a very, not obscure, but kind of like a unique angle. Obviously, Julia is the main character, And I'm guessing that maybe Andrew Garfield's the one that gets accusations against him. Fascinating. After the Hunt. Let's see if they've got this lifted up on the IMDb. I don't think that they will, but we'll take a look anyway. After the Hunt, Julia Roberts. No, not yet. But maybe if we just look up Julia Roberts. Huh, nothing. Yeah, so this is just getting off the ground. I don't expect too much. We just saw Julia Roberts in that movie last year that was Leave the World Behind, which was good. So it's not even on her IMDb yet. So we're a little ahead of the news cycle just now. But I like to Leave the World Behind, and I do like Julia Roberts. I do like Andrew Garfield. Luca Guadagnino, you know, I'm mixed. I'm more on the side. But as I said, he's got a unique style and approach, so that could be a curiosity. I'll keep my eye on if they're going in production this year. Probably 2025, late 2025 is when that's going to come out. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Let's talk about Edgar Wright and Sydney Sweeney teaming up. Edgar Wright is in talks to direct Sydney Sweeney's Barbarella with writers Jane and Honey Goldman negotiating for the gig. Yes, this is a very exciting time in Sydney Sweeney's career, man. Immaculate was, I think, still one of my favorite horror movies of the year. Madame Web is just, she wasn't a main character, so I don't really care about that. But yeah, she's got that hit with Glenn Powell, that rom-com that people are loving. Edgar Wright, Last Night in Soho, my favorite film. The rest of his catalog, I'm a little meh. But I know that there are a lot of Edgar Wright fans that will be saying that, I don't know, for some reason they like Shaun of the Dead, saying it's the funniest thing ever. If it was sold as a drama, then I might have liked it, but it wasn't. Anyway, Edgar Wright is in talks. It had one funny scene, guys. One. And you hailed it as the funniest movie of the year. That's what you sold. Why am I going down that one? Anyway, I like this team up because I liked what he did with Last Night in Soho. And I like the career trajectory that Sydney Sweeney is on, making her own production company, 50-50. Right now, I don't think she's going to be doing the producing on this one, but she's going to be doing that take on Barbarella. And my only note is this, guys. You see the image of Barbarella there in the background? You got to keep that. Because if you modernize it, I'm not saying that you can't modernize it. But it's kind of like taking Red Sonja and saying, well, we're not going to make her look like that. We're going to update the costumes and stuff. And it's like, well, it was scantily clad to begin with, so you kind of have to go there because that's what was originally making it popular. Now, as I said, you can evolve out of that and make something else cooler, more awesome, like more of an updated thing. Jane Fonda originally starred in it in the original. There's ways that you could do that organically within the story to evolve it from like the bikini, the silver bikini thing, like, but at least show us that part at least once in the movie or something like that. That's what I would want. But yeah, so Jane and Honey Goldman are negotiating to write the script. So the script isn't even done yet. But I know that they've got the rights to make it. That's pretty much as far as we have gotten. So pre-visualization, not so much yet. They're trying to get the writers and director on board. And Edgar Wright, I think, could be a very interesting choice because, as I said earlier, guys, I liked Last Night in Soho. Visually, I think it was his most stunning film. He was really reaching visually and storytelling-wise with this movie. And I dug it. So if we can bring that kind of a flavor to Barbarella and use this kind of an aesthetic to help bring it forward for the newer generations and maybe move away from the scantily clad stuff, I think that that would work for a new Barbarella movie with Edgar Wright taking on it on. I think that would work. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains. Wow, I'm really tripping over my words. This is not good. Just slow down. Watchers is coming out. Let's talk about that. I am looking forward to The Watchers because of who it's made by. The Watchers. Shauna Shyamalan. I don't know why she's using Knight. I heard that her middle name isn't Knight, but I'm guessing she's doing that because her father is M. Night Shyamalan, right? Shauna Night Shyamalan's The Watchers has released a new eerie poster with Dakota Fanning starring in this. I've loved the trailers for this, guys. And I'm looking forward to this. So let's pull up this poster. That's creepy. Let's see if I can blow that up a little bit for you guys. Take a look at this. New poster for The Watchers. That's eerie. So that's like a butterfly attached to a skeleton with root legs. So we know that there are creatures in this movie, right? We know that from the trailers for The Watcher that... there's like a weird kind of experimental thing going on where they've taken people from society and put them out in this thing in the woods where there's like this big wall of, I don't know what's going on there. There's like people in the woods that watch them, or there's creatures or something. So you got kind of like a mashup of, I don't know, The Ritual mixed in with some kind of, not trapped, like they're trapped in some weird thing in the woods. It's very strange. And they're trying to figure out, how do we get out? And they're like, you can't get out because they're watching, right? I think the second trailer showed like some idea of a creature, right? So we know that it is supposed to be like horrifying. So yeah, I'm not seeing it. Do you see like a hand there? Yeah, you saw something moving there. But new poster for The Watchers. I like what I'm seeing. What do you guys think? Are you excited for this? I think I am. Yeah. When does this come out, James? The Watchers comes out just next month, guys. June 7th, just around the corner. June is going to be, we're in it now. We're in the full swing here of the summer season, and we're getting some interesting movies coming out. So The Watchers is one for me. Next, Sarah Paulson. Sarah Paulson calls out actor who emailed her 6 pages of notes after watching her. It was outrageous, and I hope I see you never. That's very Hugh Grantian of someone, isn't it? Yeah, we've heard horror stories of Hugh Grant doing this to a lot of people, chewing out actresses. 6 pages to Sarah Paulson? She's a fantastic actress. What's going on here? I'm sure she probably doesn't say. She said this in a Smartlist podcast where she and hosts Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, Sean Hayes meant to talk about backstage people that they've met and stuff, and she went on to talk about some of these people. So I'm sure there's going to be people out there trying to guess as to who that could be. But I hate that people do this. Like, it just seems unprofessional, right? I know there's different ways to work it in the industry, right? But I'm from the stage, so I'm very much like, I like to rent out a hall or a big space where we rehearse the entire thing. That's the way I like to do it. And that's when we hand notes to each other and stuff. We don't just show up on set and then kind of like, oh, let's figure it out now kind of thing, right? We do all of that in the rehearsals. So that's when these sort of pages would come out in my process. But there are productions where they don't do that. They just go straight to this. Here's your script. We're hiring you on. Come to set today for your shoot, and then you're supposed to be prepared all on your own. I don't like that. And maybe that's where this one of these situations happened, where it's just like, well, because we didn't do all of the practicing, this is where it comes out in, I'm just going to hand you notes, and it just doesn't come across well, right? That's why I like to be in a big room and talking with these people, and when we are hashing things out, trying to find the dialogue, like delivery and stuff. When we were working with those ideas, sometimes when you say certain things, it's like, well, guys, we're working at the top of our heads here. We're ad-libbing stuff, and we're just figuring things out, so we don't take it personally. But when you just hand notes to somebody, there's like an approach about that just doesn't. It feels like it's hitting a little bit more personally than because they didn't have the courage to say it to you straight up, kind of thing. Well, but whatever. It's a thing in the business that kind of sucks, and we have to move on. Mad Max director says there's no excuse for Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron's Fury Road set feud, and that's something that can happen. That actors will be kind of like butting heads with each other, right? And we've all heard about this one, that Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy did not get along. Like, they hated each other. And that's one of the things where I think, once again, if you could be in front of each other and say, okay, I don't think we should do it like that because I just don't feel like the energy from you or something like that, right? Instead of saying that in a note, you say it to the person directly, kind of thing. That's where rehearsals, I think, come into play. But as I said, each production has their own process. He said Tom had to be coaxed out of his trailer. Yeah. And this is one thing I hear about Tom Hardy, is that he's the big dog on set. And if you do things that he doesn't like, he'll do things like that. He won't come out, and he'll show up all feathers ruffled and say, okay, well, let's do this scene anyway, kind of thing. Like that kind of thing. You don't want to have that. Like, it hasn't tarnished his work on screen like some other actors. But yeah, you don't want your reputation to become like that. And I think this is why George Miller is saying this, because they're both fantastic actors. They're both, and I would watch them in anything, and I will. So we've heard about those rumors. Tom has a damage to him, but a brilliance that comes with it. And whatever was going on with him at the time, he had to be coaxed out of his trailer. Well, I think he also had some substance abuse problems too, didn't he? But he sorted that out. And maybe he was just going through, like, it's just, we don't know. And we just got to deal with it. But talking about the new Mad Max stuff, Anya Taylor-Joy has about 30 lines of Furiosa dialogue. What? Spent months without speaking on set and fought to scream on camera. I've never been more alone than making that movie. Wow. So it seems like, yeah. Spent months without speaking on set and fought to scream on camera. So she's not going to talk that much during Furiosa. So what we're going to be experiencing from Anya here is probably a lot of facial expressions and stuff like that, like working with her body to emote, which is good because she can do it. She's one of those actors that's got that full kind of closet of tools that she draws from, and she can do it. Like, watch her in The Northman. Man, my God. Yeah. And not because of the nude scenes, guys. For God's sakes. But it does give me a little bit of pause about the Furiosa movie, which just dropped a new teaser or featurette called The Darkest Angel, where she talks about her work on the project and stuff. So if you are curious about the Furiosa movie and stuff, that just dropped this morning. So knowing that she's only going to have a few words of dialogue and stuff. See, the way that I see, again, going back to the process and how you do things. This is stuff that we would have already rehearsed. Okay, I'm only telling you this kind of stuff. He's giving direction here as to where to look and stuff, like where the camera's going to be and stuff, right? And how to look, kind of thing. Like, that stuff you do when you're on the set, but like, Whatever. When you're there and stuff, they should have already a good idea as to what they're going to do, right? So that when you're on the set, when you're actually working, it's like, oh, we've rehearsed this. This is what we're going to do for this scene. This is how I need to prepare as an actor and stuff like that, right? And then it's like, okay, here's the camera. This is where you look. This is how you say the line that we rehearsed and stuff and all like that. So it all comes down. So anyway, new featurette. I'm looking forward to it mostly because of Chris Hemsworth. And I am an Anya Taylor-Joy fan. But I wanted to see what Chris Hemsworth can do as the bad guy, as Dementus. Yeah. 2 weeks now, guys. Not this week, but next week. Furiosa. Anya Taylor-Joy. Looking forward to that. May 24th. Talking about Hemsworth and Dementus. Chris Hemsworth blasts actors who star in MCU and then criticize it later. Yeah, so Hemsworth has been making a few statements here about this kind of stuff. He admitted that he went too far with Thor Love and Thunder recently, saying that he pushed the humor a little too far. It wasn't exactly what he wanted it to be. And then he's now talking about some actors that bashed the movies and stuff after. He says, quote, "It's like their films are successful. Put me in one. Oh, mine didn't work. I'll bash them. Look, I grew up on a soap opera, and it used to bother me when actors would later talk about the show with guilt or shame. Humility goes a long way. Hey, yeah, and never be ashamed of the work you do or what you have to do to make money kind of thing. If you got a job, yeah, there's no shame in that. The shame is not having a job. Keep your head up." So I agree with Hemsworth about that. People that bash it. Who could he be talking about? Lots of people, probably, right? Thor also said harsh MCU criticism from big directors. Those guys had films that didn't work too. And he's talking about, unfortunately, Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola. No, I don't remember what Coppola said. I think he was saying something about. I think he was having a bit of a struggle with that Megalopolis movie that just dropped, or the trailer for, and he was like a little bit frustrated because he felt like, I think it was something along the lines that superhero films are taking up all the market kind of thing, right? Criticisms from iconic directors like Tarantino and Foster, and of course, then yeah, you know that there was that weird quote from Scorsese that superhero movies aren't real cinema. Like, guys, what do you? Yeah, felt a little dated, but let's see what. Did he release a quote about this? "It felt harsh," he says, when he spoke with the Times, "and it bothers me, especially from my heroes. It was an eye roll for me, people bashing the superhero space. Those guys had films that didn't work too. We all have them. When they talked about what was wrong with superheroes, I thought, cool. Tell that to the billions who watched them. Were they all wrong?" So he went up to bat, and he admits his faults too, right? Hemsworth is slowly becoming one of my favorite actors, and it's because of stuff like this. You know, we took a swing and a miss. Well, with Thor: Love and Thunder, it didn't work. He admits that. But guys, if you haven't watched movies where he actually gets to stretch a little bit, like Extraction 2, what was that one with the island, where he's like the mad scientist on the island? Was it not Spiderhead? Was it Spiderhead? Yeah. He can act. He's got range. So let him. And as he said, he started off in a humble place too, on soap operas. Yeah, so I let that one slide. DCU villain reportedly joins the Batman spin-off, The Penguin. Well, I thought The Penguin was already done shooting, so what the heck's going on here? So it must be for pickups. Mark Strong will join Colin Farrell's The Penguin, adding another impressive name to the list. This broke like yesterday, guys. Mark Strong, there he is. You know who that actor is. Make him Lex Luthor. For God's sakes, please. We all want him to be Lex Luthor. Like, how could he not be Lex Luthor? Anyway. Because he's not going to be... That version of Batman is not going to have Superman. Well, I'm looking forward to the Penguin anyway, because Colin Farrell. And I thought it was all done. It's only 6 episodes, right? After the... Like, they were shooting it before the strikes happened last year. And it had to go on hiatus because of the strikes. But I thought they got back on schedule rather quickly afterwards and was done in February. I could have sworn that I saw Penguin series wrapped. Yeah. When was this? 2 months ago. It has wrapped finally. So this will be for pickups. Post-credit scenes, maybe. I don't know. So the Penguin has wrapped. That's interesting. Keep our eye on that. Nicolas Cage, Heather Graham, Stephen Dorff saddle up for Western Gunslingers. Well, Nicolas Cage. I've been liking his work. Heather Graham, haven't seen her in a hot minute. She was just recently in something last year, right? That got a little bit of notoriety. Chris Hemsworth. You maybe want to talk to Stephen Dorff. Dorff. Because he's one that's come out and bashed superhero movies after starring in Blade. He's saying that it's not real work and stuff like that, and real actors would never do anything like that. Yeah, Stephen Dorff, he needs, I don't know, like, he's an okay actor, but he's got some old school mentalities when it comes to projects. So, what was she in last year? Place of Bones? Is that what I'm thinking of? Chosen Family? Oracle? So she's been in stuff, just lower tier stuff that not in high circulation. I always liked Heather Graham. Yeah, there was that horror movie, right? Suitable Flesh, maybe. Yeah. So, Gunslingers. Oh, Nicolas Cage working on a horse again. We heard horror stories about him working on a horse. He didn't like, was trying to buck him off for a couple of times. All right, Gunslingers. What's it about? Let's just see if they got a long line here for us. The Gunslingers is set in a rugged town named Redemption. Reformed gunslinger Thomas Keller, Dorff, and mad genius Cage are guided by spiritual leader Jericho as they strive for vindication. Confronting his violent history, a brutal bar fight and deadly feud reignites between Thomas and Ben and the notorious 5 Points gang. Now baptized and reborn, Thomas grapples with fresh challenges, testing his newfound peace amidst town and secrets, violence, and relentless quest for revenge. So I don't see anything in there who Heather Graham's going to be playing, but probably some kind of love interest. But I don't know if I like that Stephen Dorff's going to be the main character. I would have preferred Nicolas Cage to be the main character. Because Dorff needs to have projects like this come out, and he needs them to be good enough that he starts to build up a little bit more of notoriety. Because if he does that, then people are talking about him. People will be like, oh, yeah, no, I remember him. He was in that Blade movie. Okay, where has he been? Because the only thing that I know from Stephen Dorff is those headlines where he's been bashing superhero movies and stuff. Talking about it's not work worthy of any serious actor. So he needs to retool his image a little bit like that. So we'll I don't know. We'll see how that pans out. You heard me rag on that long enough. Daredevil alum Deborah Ann Wall to star in Shudder's newest horror film. Daredevil. Looking forward to it coming back. Daredevil Born Again. She'll be back in that. So that's cool. But she's going to be in a new horror movie, huh? Yeah, we're going to do full live watch-alongs for Daredevil Reborn. We have to, right? Shudder horror film. What's it about? The Cycle. Shudder. I'm like, I would love, if I had endless resources, I would subscribe to Shudder because I'm a big horror fan. You know me. The Cycle. What's it about? You got a log line here. The Cycle unravels a gripping tale centered around the eerie discovery of a man's body, which has been missing over 3 decades at the site of a horrifying crime. This gruesome finding forces his distant daughter to delve into his mysterious and troubled past, unraveling secrets that were meant to stay hidden. The story's intrigue is poised to keep viewers on the edge of their seats as they follow her dark and twisting path. So it's kind of like a mystery kind of thing. Okay, I'm on board for that. Deborah Ann Wall. Finally, guys, this is a fun story. I like Fubar Season 1, which the new season is just filming around the corner from here, apparently. He's been spotted in a small town, just like 20 minutes from here, where I live. Carrie-Anne Moss joins Arnold Schwarzenegger in Fubar Season 2. Yeah, Season 1 ended kind of like on a little bit of a cliffhanger, and it was just good fun. It was just fun. Surprisingly, a lot more dramatic than I thought it was going to be. Everybody thought like Fubar was going to be a lot of like action, nonstop action. It felt like the spiritual sequel to True Lies. So if you like the True Lies movie, then Fubar felt like the spiritual sequel to that. Kind of like the daughter now became the secret agent, and he doesn't like that. He's got to come out of retirement to help her, kind of thing. It's like that. Carrie-Anne Moss. Can't go wrong with talent, except if you're working on Star Wars Acolyte, where apparently she dies in the first episode. What are you doing? Anyway, yeah, so Carrie-Anne Moss, I am a fan of hers. Yeah, Fubar racked up 88.94 million views. Hours viewed. Hours. 88 million hours. Wow, James. In its first 4 days. Yeah, so a sequel was a no-brainer. And we did a full live watch-along set for that, guys. That's up on the channel. Go check that out. I can't remember which episode it was. There was one episode that was all in a Fallout bunker. And that was probably my favorite episode because a lot of things came out dramatically. And if you like movies or shows like Kaleidoscope, like where there's like a team of people behind him and stuff, like there's like the tech guy, the explosive guy, that kind of team. That's what Fubar is, right? It's like Arnold's got this team of people that do things, and it's fun. I liked it. I'm looking forward to that. When would Fubar Season 2 come out? Well, if they're shooting it now, yeah, Elora, that's the town. Began filming in April. So, yeah, he was spotted over there. He's somebody, if he was in Elora, I would go say, hi, Arnold. Maybe try to get an autograph or something. Okay. But if they're shooting it now, then probably it won't be until next year. Well, that's fine. Early next year, right? On Netflix. We'll watch that all the way. All right. That's all I have in the can for right now, guys. If anything else breaks, I can't do it today because I'm mostly going to be at work. But tomorrow I'm only working in the morning. So we'll see. Tomorrow I'll be busy as well. Whatever. I can take a day off, right? I can do that. YouTube algorithm says, hey, if you take a break, sometimes we'll promote your videos a little bit more. Yeah. So let's just take a look here. Oh yeah, the second teaser for Rings of Power has been released. We're doing that right now. We'll cut that out and put that up on the channel. We're going to film that right now too. So a lot of trailer reactions. I forgot about that. Are we going to end with that? I can't watch The Boys, guys, because this guy in real life apparently is a real ass and doesn't treat people well. So I can't watch it simply because of him. Like badly treats people. Greta Gerwig at Con. Yeah, we talked about that. Anya Taylor-Joy and Zendaya. I want to see them in, yeah, if you get them in Doom Part 3, although I don't know how you'd explain her getting older. Two fabulous actresses working right now, man. Anya Taylor-Joy on Secret Doom Part 2 cameos. I think Zendaya had suspicions whilst filming. I really wanted them to know. I didn't just want to show up in the premiere and say, like, hi. Well, you sort of did. Anya Taylor-Joy at Con. Yeah, we know that. Nicolas Cage to star in Spider-Man Noir, an upcoming live-action series. Cool. That one I'm looking forward to. Madame Web is now on Netflix. Can we confirm? I don't think so. Remember, Canada and U.S. has different release times. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. It's not in Canada. All right. So that's a load of BS. First teaser for Megalopolis. Phoebe Denever for a bunch of stuff. Whatever. All right. So let's set up for Rings of Power. Hey, James. Tokyo Vice second season drops today. It's a great show if you can find it. Okay, I'll see if I can. Understand your stance on the boys. Carl Urban deserves to play Johnny Cage based on his performance. Yeah. All right, let's do a trailer reaction. Let me get up the materials for this, and we'll finish out the show. Okay, so what do we need, James? What do we need? We need our IMDb. Hopefully my services have... There it is. Whoops. And my reactions for the first season have been getting a little bit of traction there on TikTok, so I implore people to go over and check that out. The first teaser for the Rings of Power Season 2 has dropped, guys. I was somebody who really liked the first season, so let's check it out. Yes, I liked Galadriel.
Evil, ancient and powerful,
Sauron.
has returned.
Hallbrand, right? Mordor was just created. Morgoth Clark. Elrond.
He worms his way inside your mind. The crest of him slithers in.
And remember, sometimes it takes a few seasons for
He has been here.
a show to find his footing.
I think he's been here among us all along.
Who's that? August 29th.
Every soul in Middle-earth is in peril.
The dwarves. Darkness will bind them. Ooh, yeah, there he is. This looks awesome, man.
He's Sauron.
He's Sauron. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys, but that looks awesome. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Season 2, August 29th. I'm sold. Wow. On Prime. Yeah, so I'll have to sign up for that again. Let's take a look at the comments and see what people are saying. When you finish making a cake, then there's a better one on the whisk. He's Sauron. And not a single mention of the Harfoots. Oh yeah, there's an improvement. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like the Harfoots. I didn't mind it, but it was kind of like, that was like leading into the Gandalf side of the story. Let's hope we can see Sauron's true form in battle. Can't wait to see Gandalf tell Picard he's a wizard before they turn on the Stargate. What? What are you talking about? It's morphin time? I don't get that. It's clobbering time, booby. What? I think that one's above my head. I think he's been here among us all the time. Yeah. Sus. Nice Anatar look. An improvement over the first Sauron. Yeah. Guys, I dug that trailer. And as I said, sometimes it takes a while for a series to find its footing. Like the first couple seasons can be rough. Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1 was not all that good. Night Court Season 1 was not all that good. It takes time to find that footing. And hopefully they learned the mistakes from the first season. Because I will agree with everybody out there. The first 3 or 4 episodes of Season 1 are rough and difficult to get through, but it pays off in the end, especially when you get to the story of like Elrond and the dwarves and how all that fits in. Morvith Clark is Galadriel. I'm somebody who liked it. Arendir. Yeah, that shot of Arondir. He's like flipping or something. Yeah, that. Arondir. When you get into that story, like that was really well done, like how he fell in love with a human and stuff like that. I dug that. Nori Markella Kavanaugh. She was in the first season. This is all from the first season, right? The Stranger, Bronwyn. Who is the bad guy again? Obviously Sauron was the bad guy, but I mean the Trent Reznor looking type dude. I forgot what his name was. Was it? It wasn't Hallbrand. Was it the Stranger? Yeah, we saw him here in this trailer too. I thought everybody thought that he was going to be Sauron. Yeah, this guy. He proto-orc, right? He was the guy that slowly becomes one of the Orcai, right? So yeah, he's going to be back. So that's cool, and we actually see more undead-looking ones. So that's cool. Like the show's evolving. Give it time. Aesthetically, it looks fantastic. Hey, guys, we do this live. So if you want to come join us in our live streams, I implore you to do that because let's take a comment here from Hourglass Vikings. That was quite an Avengers Ensemble camera pan moment from our Heroes Rings of Power. So hyped for the series. Yeah. Like that trailer worked for me. What did you guys think? The Rings of Power. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and we will talk about it. What else can you find here on the channel Mirror Domains aside from trailer reactions? Well, we do movie news and stuff too. But we talk about that new Superman suit, trailer reactions for Megalopolis and Quiet Place Day 1, movie reviews for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Tarot, series reactions for Fallout and Rings of Power. And of course, then we do movie news throughout the week where we talk about all the trending movie news, headlines of the day right here on Mirror Domains. If this is your bag, come join us. Subscribe. A lot of shorts, quick little shorts, movie news, tidbits and stuff you'll like here. Hope you come join us. All right, guys, that's the show for today. I have hopefully fixed some of the audio issues. For some reason, yesterday I was noticing when I was cutting out the segments, the audio was like really loud, and I was like, I like my camera, my microphone's on a stand that just swivels, so it's like it wasn't. I usually put it at a normal about a foot and a half away from my mouth, and it was like really loud. I was like, what the heck's going on? But I remember that OBS had done like an update, and it sometimes when that happens, it resets everything. I hate it when it does that. So I had to readjust the audios. Just so that it doesn't feel like I'm blasting right into the right. So it should be like, in all seriousness, I should be able to have like the microphone right up to my face like this and still talk normally. Like, see, it should be loud now, but I should be able to have it that close. But I don't like to, because I don't. My whole thing about the show is that I didn't want to be one of the people that just sits here with the headset on, with the with the microphone in half of my face. I didn't want that to be the show. I wanted it to be like, it looks like I'm a normal person without the microphone clipped on me and still have good audio and still have good video. That's what I wanted the show to be, and it is. Anyway, I'm rambling. I got to get ready and go head out to work for the rest of the day. Thank you very much for joining me. And as I said, if anything else big drops, we'll get to it in a timely manner. Enjoy the rest of your day from me here on Mirror Domains.